We are You Are Echo Base Network. Welcome back to the channel, guys. I am the coach. The war rages on. The back and forth between the fans and Lucasfilm. The back and forth between the fans and Kathy Kennedy and her story group. When good things happen in the world of Star Wars under the Disney banner, bad things are certainly going to follow, and usually pretty quickly. You could just look at the middle of December with the Chapter 16, The Mandalorian, and look at all of the things that have happened after that. And as soon as the fans are thrown some crumbs, some nuggets, to go, hey, there's actually good Star Wars news, we get the negative. So what has happened now? You guys know we talked about this last week, that Rey Books, the publishing house, Rey, they have an agreement with Lucasfilm where they are republishing with new art, new cover art, new covers and everything, so people can go get that. They're republishing classic Star Wars novels, starting with Timothy Zahn's Heir to the Empire and Shatterpoint, and all of these. There's 3 to start with, and the list will continue and grow. And they are like celebrating the works of the past that happen to be legends now, no longer canon according to Disney. Well, what has happened now, guys, is now we get the bad news. Rey Books posted this on April the 5th. Available tomorrow, the epic audio adventure of Dr. Aphra by Sarah Kuhn is coming to print. Here's a preview of the script's dramatis personae, character list, featuring insightful descriptions of Star Wars characters, old and new, from intrepid heroine Dr. Aphra herself. So what we're looking at here is the character list. It's kind of like when you go to a play and you get a list of all of the characters, and you'll get an indicator of that character. A very brief, to the point summary of what one should expect from that character. And here is the author, Sarah Kuhn. She's here. Really can't describe the feeling of holding a hefty hardcover with Star Wars printed so close to my name. Thank you. And that is the author there of the series, Sarah Kuhn. But let's look at this character list. And you can see it here, and I'm gonna make this a little bit bigger. Here's where all the problems come in. And we're going to go through this thing real quick, and we're really going to shine the light on the ones that need to be shown. And I've got some thoughts here. I'm just hitting the facts here. In the second half of this episode, we will offer some opinion and commentary for sure. So you don't want to miss that. So here is an enlarged look at the character list. You got Darth Vader here. And we're really just going to hone in on the OT characters, the legendary characters that have been around for literal decades now. But after we look at the very first one at the top, Dr. Aphra herself, rogue archaeologist, weapons and droid expert extraordinaire, our intrepid heroine. And then you got Darth Vader, infamous Sith Lord, man of few words, our intrepid heroine's terrifying boss. And then as you move on, let's go to Padme Amidala, the good, in quotations, former queen and senator of Naboo. Interesting that they put the word good in quotations. Why? Well, I don't understand why you would say the good former senator, the good former queen. That really doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Are you saying that there's no such thing as good? I don't really know where you're going with that. But here's where it gets a little more interesting. Princess Leia Organa, rebel royalty, has a mean left hook. So she's a fighter. Princess Leia, she's a fighter. She's feisty. She's a good character. Didn't say anything negative about Leia, and they've got her before Luke and Han, which that's fine. Okay, no problem there. No problem. But let's look and see what they say. Luke Skywalker, yellowed hair rebel humanoid. So that to call somebody a humanoid, arguably, it is actually interesting. It can kind of dehumanize them. I know what the word humanoid means, guys. Just say human. Just say human. But anyways, let's continue. Yellow-haired rebel humanoid who is supposedly important for some reason, and that is made in the form of a question. Now, if I'm not mistaken, and I saw this on RK Outpost video, this setting here is during the original trilogy. This book came out in 2015. Now we're getting it in print. This is an original trilogy era story created by Disney, and you don't know that the person who blew up the Death Star is important for some reason, like the hero of all heroes. There is a huge disconnect with this author, and shame on the story group for letting that slide by. And we know that they probably did that on purpose. Han Solo, reformed scoundrel, always claims to save the day, actually useless. Glad you cleared that up for us there, story group and author, because that's exactly the way you treated both of our characters, Luke and Han, in your sequel trilogy, that the fans do not want to recognize. I definitely get where you're going with that. Let's look at some others. Chewbacca, Han Solo's very loud Wookiee sidekick, no match for Black. I don't know how to say this Wookiee in my opinion, but obviously it's the Wookiee that this author herself created. And, everything has to be bigger and better. So let's move on. We got a tweet here from Sam Tyler. He says, Dr. Aphra by Sarah Kuhn pokes fun at some sacred Star Wars institutions, but does so with a charm and lightness of touch. Guaranteed to be some of the most fun you will have in the Star Wars universe. So that is going to be the defense. What you see right here, this will be how people defend this work. And we're going to dig into this and talk about why and how we can't let them do that. So we're going to go ahead and begin lessons from Coach and Coach's points of reasons, and we'll be right back. All right, let's jump right into it. So, lessons from Coach's points of reason. Look at all the legacy characters down there. Those are great Star Wars characters. Not the two chaps in the middle. You could ignore them, myself and Nick there. But here's 3 points that I want to make specifically to all of us, but especially to Lucasfilm. Stop tearing down others to build yourself up. That's called bully mentality. That's exactly what bullies do. They tear down those around them to make themselves appear better, bigger, stronger, whatever you want. Stop tearing down the beloved characters that Disney had nothing to do with. George Lucas created these characters, and for whatever reason, you are waging war against them, which I find highly unintelligent. Like, it's absolute stupidity. So that is the first point of reason, is to stop tearing down others to build yourself up. Stop thinking that you have to come up with things that are bigger and better than. Just like the walkers in The Last Jedi. You had AT-ATs there, but you had to do something bigger. You had to have Starkiller Base. You can't create anything new. You got to just replay the same thing and make it bigger. And it's like you're competing with the original trilogy, and you need to stop because you're losing. You're losing. You're never going to beat it. So quit trying. The second point of reason that we want to point out is that a house divided cannot stand. And this is just a little elaboration on the first point. They're tearing down others to build themselves up. Well, you've got two different camps here. You've got 2012 and beyond, and then you've got the era before 2012. Before the sale and after the sale. And that's actually how we need to look at Star Wars moving on. When was Star Wars sold by Disney? It's kind of like the way that we split time, BC and AD. You've got BC, which is before, before the purchase of Disney. And then you've got after Disney. AD, after Disney. How about that? Somebody come up with a good BC. That'd be great. That's the only way we need to divide the Star Wars timeline. None of this other Battle of Yavin and the new timelines that Disney just came out with a few weeks ago, none of that matters. It's 2012. That is the year. I'm not going to say in the year of our Lord, because that is certainly not the case. And guys, we want to move on to the next point of reason here. The fans cannot and will not lose this war. Either way. Disney, the fans are not going to buy this book. You can forget it. It has already been destroyed when you have things like this. When you say Luke Skywalker, that's Superman. That's the hero of all heroes. He's supposedly important for some reason. Han Solo is actually useless. You're going to throw shade at the two most beloved Star Wars characters of all time right now? And we don't care that you're doing it in a jokingly manner. We don't care that this is in the whole, poking fun at some sacred Star Wars institution, but you're doing it with charm and lightness of touch. Negative. This shows what a disconnection you have to all of us. You don't get it. You're going to get it when none of us buy this book. It will sit on the shelf. Nobody wants this. There are so few sequel trilogy fans. There are so few people who are like, I love the High Republic. I'm buying it all. I know there are some. But you are in the minority. If you want to make something that people will buy, then you're not going to put things like this together. But you just can't help yourself. This is your agenda. And here's something else I want to point out. Why is it that you made Leia, look good here? You didn't say anything negative about Leia, but you crushed Luke and Han. You crushed them. I guarantee you, if Carrie Fisher had been a Reagan conservative, those words would not be by her name. They wouldn't. Because you have an agenda, and your agenda is not the proper agenda. Your agenda should be to tell great Star Wars. And it's not. It's not. And it's obviously not to make as much money as you can, because you are failing horribly. Horribly. Guys, let us know in the comments what you think about this war and how it's continuing. Are you going to buy this author's book? I know that myself and Nick certainly will not. Certainly will not. I did just purchase an original first edition Truce at Bakura, and can't wait to dig into it. Been a long time since I've thumbed through it. So that's the kind of Star Wars I want to look at. I'm looking for a first edition hardback, Shadows of the Empire. Let's read some great Star Wars, and let's celebrate that. And let's look at the turd in the floor and leave it alone. All right, guys, I am the coach. We are, and you are, Echo Base Network, and we will see you on the next one.